All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how Bungie has made the two most powerful rockets almost impossible to get inside Destiny 2, and it's incredibly frustrating. If you don't know, obviously, rockets were recently buffed, and now we kind of know pretty solidly what the meta is for rockets, and the two best rockets are almost impossible to get, all right? Let's start off with the Trials rocket. Okay, I do a ton of Trials, and the Flawless rocket was, I believe, last week. And if you can get the god roll of this, you can get this roll on a variety of other rockets. But if you can get the god roll of the Adept rocket, you actually have the best version of this by a long shot, okay? You got impact casing, you got auto loading, and you've got lasting impression, okay? You can get that on a variety of other rockets, but the reason why the Adept rocket is so nice is because you can slot in the Adept mod big ones. And when you're doing Grandmasters, the reason why big ones is so amazing is because it's a combination of major spec and boss spec. And normally on your rocket, you can only put on one or the other, okay? And normally you want to prioritize putting on major spec because that does increase damage to champions, which is kind of the best playstyle you're going to want to use when you're using this weapon. However, when you do get to the boss, if you have power ammo, you know, if the boss is the last one alive, for example, in the Proving Grounds Grandmaster, you're trying to shoot this guy forever, right? Having boss spec on your rocket would be nice, but you can't like swap the mod slot, obviously. In Grandmasters, everything is locked. But Adept Big Ones is amazing because it's actually just the combination between the two. So that actually gives the Adept Trials rocket a huge bonus above all the other rockets that can roll impact casing, auto loading, and lasting impression, because you get that damage boost both to all the champions, to all the majors in general, and to the boss, and to vehicles for that matter as well. So that's actually really, really sick. Especially if you're doing Proving Grounds, you can even get increased damage to the tanks. So that is why the Adept Trials rocket is amazing, but it's so unbelievably hard to get this thing. I mean, think about this. You have to go flawless in Trials just to get a rocket. And I know the majority of you out there watching this right now are like, dude, going flawless in Trials, that shit ain't easy. And trust me, I know how you feel. And now not only do you have to go flawless, but when you go flawless, you get one Adept rocket to drop, and you can only do that across 3 characters, and that's it. That's the only, you get 3 chances. You get 3 guaranteed chances. It's very hard to go flawless. And then, like, for myself, for example, I go flawless all 3 times, and none of them are the god roll. So I'm like, well, great. Now how long do I have to wait until I get another chance at this, right? And obviously, you know, we could be being a bit nitpicky here and there, wanting to have the god roll of the Adept rocket, but you know, that's the part of Destiny, right? It's all about power fantasy in Destiny. You want to be as strong as you possibly can, so that way you can absolutely fly through raids and strikes and PvP and everything else, right? That's why we talk about god roll weapons. And it is a bit frustrating, I think, that the god roll rocket is there for you. The best rocket with auto loading and lasting impression is at the lighthouse, but it's almost impossible to get. And that is very frustrating in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, how you feel about that. And next up, if that wasn't frustrating enough, we're going to move on to the next rocket, which is the Royal Entry rocket, which drops from doing strikes. You can do Nightfall strikes. You can do a variety of different strikes. You can actually just go to the regular strike playlist and do the Lake of Shadows. And there is a very, very small chance that this Royal Entry will drop for you. But if it does drop for you, the rolls you can get on this are actually unbelievable. This can roll with Clown Cartridge, meaning if you reload this weapon, it just automatically puts 2 rockets in the magazine. Now this absolutely blasts your overall DPS up really rapidly. I mean, think about how much easier it would be to kill, for example, a barrier champion. Once you have him stunned, you could fire 2 rockets right at him. That's kind of crazy, right? The Royal Entry is the only rocket that can roll Clown Cartridge, and the drop rate for this is just almost non-existent. If you are looking for that god roll out there, of course you're going to want Clown Cartridge. If you could get Field Prep, that would be amazing. Impulse Amplifier wouldn't be half bad either. And maybe even Threat Detector. All you need is you're going to want some really, really fast reload, because you need to actually manually reload this thing, and you don't want to reload slow. But when you do reload, getting 2 rockets in the magazine is unbelievable damage overall. I've done tons and tons of strikes, and I think I've gotten 2 Royal Entries to drop for me in total, and neither one of them were even close to a god roll. Let me know in the comment section below if you have actually gotten a decent roll of the Royal Entry. Of course, one with Clown Cartridge is what we're talking about here. If you have, tag me on Twitter with the best rocket that you're currently using, especially when you're in PvE activities. What rocket are you using when you're doing activities? How close to a god roll do you have? And let me know if you find it even just the slightest bit frustrating that the 2 most powerful rockets, the one acquired by PvE and the one acquired by PvP, are almost impossible to get. Whether you're a PvP player that grinds Trials like crazy, you're almost never going to get the god roll rocket. And whether you're a PvE player that grinds PvE like crazy, you're almost never going to get the god roll rocket. There's no winning. I love when Bungie gives us a carrot on the stick, okay? Something to chase after, that god roll weapon, whatever it may be. I love when there are things like that, but I just hate when it feels almost impossible to actually get. When the drop rate chances are just so extremely low, and the perk pool is so massive that even if you get one to drop, it's probably not even going to be a god roll or even close. That's frustrating to me, and that makes me not even want to try to chase after the weapon. Hopefully Bungie might address this soon, and maybe we could get like double playlist exclusive weapon drops, because honestly, that's about the only thing that would incentivize me to try and get in there and chase after a royal entry currently. That's a wrap on this video though. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on if you did enjoy. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.